and welcome here to Chase Race number 3 of Season 9 of the NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series. We are getting ready for 2 division races with non-chases, and then Division 3 where the chase implications will take place, and this is Ohio Raceway, making its debut in Snickers Cup Series competition. Please excuse the squeaky toy in the back. That is Duncan having a field day with his monkey. But anyway, we are getting ready for 50 laps of racing in all 3 of our division races. If you saw the Mobile One Cup Series race, we're in for quite a treat. A lot of hard racing took place in that event, and expecting no less here today. One thing that we also got to keep an eye on during the course of this race is this is the 3rd stop of the chase, which means that this is a chase cutoff point. After today, 4 drivers will be eliminated from the championship hunt. And right now, the 4 drivers that come in those critical spots are Ty Dent, Tristan Wilhoit, James Shelley, and Chris Louvier. But we'll get to that when we get to Division 3. We'll cover that in just a brief while until we get to Division 3. Oh, I'm wrong. Duncan was chewing his chick, not his monkey. And we're going to show you your starting lineup here for Division number 1. And there you see, Rohit Vidarvu will start in the pole position. He's still looking for his first win of the season, as is the car alongside of him, Charles Jackson in the Skittles Toyota. Then it's Johnny Gardner and Kyle Miller. They haven't been to victory lane yet this season. You look all the way through your starting lineup here. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. And as we show you starting lineup, let's go to our special little soundtrack, the Squeaky soundtrack, courtesy of Duncan McTavish. There we go, the Duncan McTavish squeak, whatever you call it. Marathon. Yeah, marathon, now trending on iTunes, I don't know. Anyway, let's get these cars rolling off though. We're getting ready to go green here at Mid-Ohio. If you guys didn't tune in for the Mobile Cup Series race, you have no idea what you're in store for, but believe me, it's going to be a really good race. I know that it's kind of ironic having 2 short tracks, one after the other, since we were at Martinsville last week, but still, this track brings about some good racing, and we haven't been here before, and I think it's going to be a little bit better racing than Chatham would have been, which was where we were originally supposed to be scheduled, but here we go, green flag is out, we're underway here today in Chase Race number 3 at Ohio Raceway. We're going to get out to the lead. Kyle Corbett was the winner in the Mobile Cup Series race here. We're not going to see him until I think it's Division 2. As Vidarvu gets out to a very big advantage, Johnny Gardner now moves by Charles Jackson for 2nd. Carson Gum going to try and make the move for 3rd. James Silverfox right there as well. We're now looking for 4th, but Charles Jackson now tucks in line in the 4th position. So top 5 so far are single file. We are still green. Gardner slipped up in that corner. That could bring Carson Gum to his inside. Now the battle on for 4th. Silverfox has gotten to the inside of Charles Jackson. Let's jump back to that battle. Here it is. Vodafone versus Skittles as Nick Alton's on the pit lane. Unscheduled stop for him. He might have, well actually the caution flag's out. He might have actually brought out a yellow flag. Vidarvu leads him back here to the start-finish line. Caution flag for the first time today here on lap number 5, as Duncan is running here and there and everywhere. Where are you going, buddy? Where are you going? He says, I'm going to run some laps too, just like the cars. So let's take a look and see who caution was for. And it looks like it could have very well been for Nick Alton. Oh, they just backed into each other there. Corey Williams ran to the back of Gene Sanford. He's got damage now. Kyle Collins has some rear damage on his 13. James Silverfox rear damage on his 51, and there's the car of Nick Alton, who has now scored off the lead lap. And he might have been the reason for the yellow, but we're going to find out. So we'll head to a replay of our first caution flag of the day here at Ohio. Here's a look at what happened to Nick Alton. This did not bring out the caution flag. He got forced to pit road. Right here out of 2, Trent Dunham gets into his left rear, turns him down the racetrack, and Alton, I guess instead of coming back up into traffic, he figured it was safer to just, go into pit road. He does hit the wall there, between pit road and the racetrack, so he does sustain some right side damage. But a smart move there by Nick Alton, but that's a tough break for him too. I mean, he did not want to go to pit road, obviously, but he kind of got forced there. Now, let's see if we can find out what the initial contact was that brought out the caution. Saw McLeod had some damage, so it might have started with the 51. He's in, oh yeah, wow, he's in a situation here, 4 wide with Kearney, Marley, and McCrory. And something tells me it might be off this corner, that it might end up all coming to a head. There's Kyle Collins, who we saw had damage as well. They bounce off each other, heading here into turn number 1. Trent Dunham, again in the situation. Going to go to the inside, make that Zeke Marley slides wide, and it's probably going to be right here off of turn 2. Right? No, not yet. Oh, is it right here? Well, McLeod trying to get through. And then he's going to cross over on Collins. Poteet's to his inside. Kearney to Poteet's inside off of this corner. They're still keeping it together. Where in the world do they wreck? Oh, right here it looks like. Yep, Jack Kearney overdrove the corner. Gets into James McLeod's left rear. Sends him up into Kyle Collins. Man, that was a great race right there that was going on between those 5 drivers. How they were keeping it together that long, I'm not sure, but that was enough to bring out the caution flag. What do you want, buddy? What do you want? And do forgive me if I am talking to my dog while commentating this race, but I'm puppy sitting at the same time that I'm race commentating, and he's so doggone cute. I can't ignore him. He's just my foot. So, anyway. Rohit Vidar getting ready to put us under the green flag once again. Johnny Gardner is second. Third place Carson Gum. James Silverfox and Charles Jack complete the top 5. Then it's Zachary Fitzwater, Anthony McCurry, Joshua Baldwin, Ian Siegel, and Trent Dunham is now up to 10th. As Nick Alton, as we saw, got turned to pit road. He is now scored 2 laps down. Ah! To the leaders. Ow! To the leaders. Jeez, not my foot. Green flag's back out. Nick Alton going to try and get back on the lap. Nobody out of the race after the incident, which we just saw there. McLeod and Collins will be able to continue. And Alton's going to get by, and he's going to get back on the tail end of the lead lap. And we have a battle for the lead now. Johnny Gardner going to use that to get on the back bumper of Rohit Vidarva. Vidarva, though, going to tuck back in line. Now he's going to try and put Alton another lap down. Alton right now 1 lap down, and now he's going to fall a 2nd lap down as now Rohit Vidarva is going to go by him. There's a couple cars that just were on pit road. Hey. One looked like it could have been Corey Williams, who remember had the damage on his hood. Yeah, there you see him. Just made a pit stop. It was somebody else that was on pit road, I'm pretty sure. Oh, it was Austin Talley in the 013. I'm pretty sure the 73's pit stop was scheduled. Not so certain about the Austin Talley machine. Now he's going to come back out on the racetrack just ahead of the leaders. Vidarva leading Gardner. Gardner has a little bit of an advantage, about maybe 3 car lengths back to Charles Jackson. Trying to still get by Alton. Look at Anthony McCurry back there, 3 wide underneath Zachary Fitzwater and James Silverfox. As Trent Dunham almost turned Carson Gum off that corner. Shades of what he did to Nick Alton back on lap 2. Now Trent's going to move by for 2 positions underneath both Carson Gum and James Silverfox. Vidarva doesn't seem to be in any hurry to try and bypass the Austin Talley machine. There you are. And Johnny Gardner now maybe in a bit of a battle with Charles Jackson for second. My dog is staring up at me. My puppy's staring up at me. He's like, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? Nope, nope, Duncan. Anyway, what'd I miss? Oh yeah, Rohit Vidarva out in front. Behind Austin Talley. My dog is chewing furniture. Boy. Oh, caution's out apparently. Sorry if my attention span is not really good in this race, but you guys want the races, but I want to be with my puppy too. Anyway, Charles Jackson, Johnny Gardner, they're going to make pit stops here. interesting that they're coming in at this point. So Vidarbu stays out, Fitzwater stays out, McCurry stays out. Did any of the other lead lap cars besides Gardner and Jackson come to pit road? Yep, Trent Dunham's in, Harrison Langford, Ben Braley, Balkowitz, Silver Fox, Steven Gonzalez, Lamas, Poteet, Luis Hernandez, Derek Pemberton, Zeke Marley, Pichu London, Dalio, Cavanaro, Washer. Trouble there with Tanner Sullivan and Trevor Gelfie on pit road. Gelfie, I think, might have missed his pit stall. I think he went into Sullivan's pit stall. There's Gene Sanford, Riley Anderson. Now Vidarbu comes in this lap. Fitzwater, McCrory, they decide to still stay out. Noah Hart is also staying out. Well, Fitzwater is now the leader of this race. Leaders are coming in making pit stops. Let's jump back and take a look at a replay. What actually brought out this caution flag? Another incident coming off turn number 2. This time it's going to be Jack Kearney and Ben Braley getting together. And, well, hi. Just popped up between my legs. And right there you're going to see Jack Kearney. Almost kind of the same thing that happened to Nick Alton earlier, except this time, oh wow. Head on into the pit wall for Jack Kearney, who at the time was running in the 10th position. That is a tough, tough break there for Jack. And that is what put us under our second caution. So we'll get ready to go back to green. Nearing the halfway point here, lap 23 of 50 is when the green flag will come back out. Nick Alton is still 2 laps down. Corey Williams is also off the lead lap, as are the cars of Trevor Gelfie, Riley Anderson, Andreas Allen, James McLeod, and out of the race is Jack Kearney. Don't get stopped. So Zachary Fitzwater inherits the lead now after the pit stops. Anthony McCurry second, Noah Hart third, Carson Gum and Ian Siegel make up the top 5. Green flag is back out. Here. He's trying to get one of his 2 laps back. Vidarbu had to deal with Nick Alton earlier, and now Alton gets by, and Fitzwater still going to get caught on the high line unless he can get down in front of Corey Williams here. Meanwhile, battle on between some former teammates. Noah Hart bypassing Anthony McCurry. That is for second. And now Corey Williams gets the inside of Fitzwater. And here comes Noah Hart, going to use the Monster Energy Chevrolet as a pick. Battle is on for the lead. Noah Hart gets the inside of Fitzwater. Remember, these cars are lapped down. The 73, the 99, and the 77. Fitzwater runs way wide out of that corner, and now new leader, 3.14 high mobile of Noah Hart, former winner this season, looking for his 2nd win of the season. But remember too, Hart and Fitzwater, McCurry, they have not been together. Andreas Allen hounding the back bumper of Noah Hart now, as he's trying to get back on the lead lap. Looks like he might succeed. Now Trevor Gelfie going to try and do the same with Riley Anderson. Good news right now for Noah Hart is even though he is getting bypassed, he's still a ways back to a battle for second between Anthony McCurry and Zachary Fitzwater. Bad news though is the caution flag is back out, I believe. And indeed it is, as the drivers begin to decrease their speeds. Riley Anderson, Trevor Gelfie, Andreas Allen, they've raced their way back onto the tail of the lead lap. Nick Alton and Corey Williams have picked up a lap. They're now only 1 lap down. Looks like Steven Gonzalez and maybe Derek Pemberton might have been the reason for this caution. Steven's got a lot of damage on his Hot Wheels Toyota. And Noah Hart will be the leader under this, our 3rd caution of the day here in Division 1. This was coming out of turn number 4. Derek Pemberton going to get into Steven Gonzalez. Steven gets turned down into the wall, and unfortunately there's nowhere else for that car to go but back up in turn number 1. Joshua Balkowitz gets collected in it. Pemberton, who made the initial contact, gets collected in his own mess. And oh wow! Luigi Victorino almost got collected in that as Balkowitz tried to turn the car back down the racetrack in order to put it in reverse and drive away. Man, we are so fortunate we got away with just a 3-car incident there. That could have been a lot worse. And Steven Gonzalez at the time was running in the 13th position. That was just outside of the top 10, that battle that was going on. Austin Talley will line up the inside of the race leader, Noah Hart, who has not yet come to pit road. A lot of the leaders have, but these guys up here at the front have not come to pit road. The highest running driver that's been to pit road is Trent Dunham. He's currently scored in the 5th position. Langford's been in, he's scored 6th. But the top 4 have not been in pit road yet. Noah Hart, Anthony McCurry, Zachary Fitzwater, nor Austin Weiner. Talley and McLeod, they didn't get ahead of Noah Hart when that green flag came out. And I believe Corey Williams and Nick Alton are still 1 lap down. They got one of their laps back in, but at the moment scored 2 laps down. Now they're only 1 lap down. Flag back out. Noah Hart going to clear lap traffic very quickly. The battle is on actually for, I think it's for position between McLeod and Talley. It is. That's for 38. And that kind of blockaded Anthony McCurry's Audi, and now he's got to try and find his way through trouble. Oh, Trent Dunham, Austin Weiner just all got together. That was drivers inside the top 5. Trent Dunham, Austin Weiner, and it looked like a lap machine. Might have been Corey Williams. They were just involved in that. Weiner is still scored in 5th. Trent Dunham is still scored in 4th. They may still continue in those spots. But oh boy. That was right up in the top 5. We've had an incident inside the top 10. We've had one just outside the top 10 around 13th place. And now an incident inside the top 5 as we are nearing the end of this race. I think we may end up having less than 10 to go when we get back green. Noah Hart continues to lead though here at Ohio. Well, watch this. Oh, caution flag was already out. So this was not what brought the caution out. We're going to have to look back and see what actually brought out the initial caution. Watch right here. Trent Dunham. I think Corey Williams was slowing down. He saw the caution flag was out. Trent just never let out of the gas. Runs straight into the back of Corey Williams, and there you see Trent goes up the track as well. He nosed it into the wall, and Austin Weiner got a piece of it as well. What did the caution originally come out for is the question. Caleb Farrell on the pit road. Let's see if he might have been the reason for the caution. No, he wasn't. Oh! Was it Gene Sanford? There you see Tanner Sullivan is right into her back bumper. No, she hung on to it. Alright, pace car. Show us what you actually had your lights come on for. I did not see anything. Alright, we're looking here, waiting for the pace car to show us. Okay, lights just came on at this point. Who is around? Who's wrecked? Oh, Dylan Poteet! And it looks like maybe Winston Rivers collected. So that's where the incident was. Oh, wow. Poteet, did he get turned? He did. Poteet, oh, look at that. Ian Siegel gets turned off the nose of Matthew Dallio. Dylan Poteet gets turned off the nose of Winston Rivers, and Poteet, I don't think, appreciated it. And he tried sliding back up there, and Winston Rivers never let him back in. And there goes the hit. And Poteet's car actually never refired. It stalled right there in the middle of the track, so that's why they had to throw a caution flag. I don't think Poteet's going to be very happy with the rookie Winston Rivers here today at Ohio. That was a hard hit, and that could have easily been avoided too. Well, we're getting ready to go back to green. We are not going green with 10 to go. We are going green with 11 to go, which means that the lap cars will still be on the inside line for Noah Hart, Anthony McCurry, Zachary Fitzwater, and the others to have to deal with. McLeod still down there, Austin Talley, Nick Alton, and Corey Williams. Here's your top 10 as we get ready to go back to green. Hart, McCurry, Fitzwater, Trent Dunham, and Austin Weiner. Even though they were involved in that incident, they're still running 4th and 5th. They're going to try and salvage what they can with damaged machines. And it's James Sowerfox, Harrison Langford, Carson Gum, Sean Galligan, and Johnny Gardner the top 10. Green flag is back out. We got only 3 drivers back behind the wall. Jack Kearney retired very early on, and then Dylan Poteet and Winston Rivers involved in that incident. They have both taken their cars behind the wall. may have a challenge for the lead. Anthony McCurry thought about going up the middle there, but now thinks better of it, and now he's going to actually start getting the freight train there on the high side. Nick Alton, the car will move by him. 41's going to do the same, and then next in line is third place, James Silverfox. Noah Hart right now has a lap machine between himself and McCurry. Silverfox trying to go to work, trying to gun him. Slides way wide through that corner. Now he's got Harrison Langford all over him for that fourth position. Fitzwater faded from view for sure. Slipped all the way back to fifth. I think he's about to lose that spot to Langford. I think he lost another spot to Carson Gum. 3 wide back there, Trent Dunham. Losing a lot of spots now. He just lost one to Langford. Now we lose one to Carson Gum. Look at Cody Lamas fighting his way up into the top 10 now, just bypassing Sean Galligan. Matthew Dalio, damaged and all. He's up there now in the top 10. Silverfox now trying to get by Nick Alton. His car then would be the leader, Noah Hart. Interesting, all 3 of these drivers in the top 3 used to be teammates at Kyotech Racing when Noah Hart drove the 81, James Silverfox drove the 41, and McCurry drove the 61. And the caution is out with 6 to go. Trevor Gelfie is smoking. He was, I believe, back on the tail end of the lead lap. He had raced his way back on. And now his day is over. And now, if we do get back green, Noah Hart will have a lap machine between himself and second place, James Silverfox. But let's take a look and see what happened to Gelfie. Then we'll come back and see if this race will end under caution or under green. But either way, Noah Hart's in a very good situation to maybe pick up his second win of the season. This was a battle for the 31st position between teammates. And Riley Anderson just dumps his Anime Racing Team teammate Trevor Gelfie into the wall, and then Gelfie comes right back up and into Riley Anderson. These are 2 rookie teammates out of the same Mercedes team, and they just took each other out of this thing. Both of them had raced their way back onto the tail end of the lead, lapped the hard way by bypassing the leader, and now both of them are in jeopardy. One of them for sure is not going to finish this race, and Riley Anderson may not either, as he's got a lot of damage on the driver's side of his number 26 Mercedes-Benz. So that's what put us under the caution. Teammate trouble here at Ohio. See if we're going to finish this race under green or under yellow. Well, we just got the signal of 3 to go. Lights are still on atop the pace car, so the closest that we can get is a 1-lap shootout if the lights go out next time around. But Noah Hart still continues to lead, and it's been good strategy by himself, Anthony McCurry, and Zachary Fitzwater. It looks like all 3 of them are going to come away with decent finishes today without even having to make a pit stop in this race. Been able to, I guess, conserve fuel under caution, probably been clutching quite a bit, and it's going to pay off for them. I think they're going to have enough fuel to get to the end. Noah Hart en route to a possible win, Anthony McCurry en route to a possible podium finish, and Fitzwater, where is he scored right now? He's in 13th place, and he's been out and led some laps here today as well, so it'll be a good points day for all 3 of those drivers. And the lights are out atop the pace car. He is pulling in. It'll be a 1-lap shootout to finish out this race. Now James Silverfox has got to get by Nick Alton pronto if he's going to have anything for Noah Hart here on this final lap. Noah Hart just got to hit his marks one more time around this very short track. Let's see what's going to happen. Green flag and white flag display at the same time, and Silverfox did not get even to the back bumper of Nick Alton. Noah Hart may be home free. Through turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Noah Hart's going to pick up his second win of the season. Fuel Brothers Racing goes victory lane for the second time in Season 9 as he wins here today at Ohio. Silverfox never was able to get by Nick Alton, wasn't even able to get to his back bumper, so he had no chance of even getting to the back bumper of Noah Hart's Toyota back bumper at all. The Pi-Mobile wins his second race of the season here in the Snickers Cup Series. That was a great race here in Division 1, and I'm certain those chase drivers were taking notes in the fact that, hey, if enough cautions come out, we can clutch for fuel and make it the full 50-lap distance. But Noah Hart wins here today. Silver Fox comes away with second, McCurry in third. How ironic, though, that all three of those drivers were teammates last season. That is so ironic. And for different teams here today, they finish 1, 2, 3. Langford going to come away with fourth. Great run for him. How about Matthew Dallio? Buckled hood and all gets fifth. Cody Lamas, never mentioned him all day. He gets sixth. Same for Pichu London. He comes from out of nowhere to get seventh. Trent Dunham, after getting spun out under the caution, he's still going to salvage 8th place. 9th for Carson Gum. And Daniel Day going to get the final spot in the top 10. Nice run there for the Pennzoil Platinum Chevrolet out of Air Jordan Motorsports. So, Division 1 is over. We'll now show you full finish results and then come back for Division 2. So we're getting ready for Division 2 racing here at Ohio. Eric Burton going to start on the pole, still looking for his first win of the season. Alongside of him is going to be Jonathan Zorling, looking for his second win of the season, as he won earlier on this year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It was at Armory Digital Super Speedway. Let's show you your starting lineup here for Division 2. And there is Kyle Corbett starting at the very rear of the field. And as I mentioned in Division 1, as we're going to fire up these engines here, he was the winner of the Mobile One Cup Series race here at Ohio yesterday. So keep that in mind. The only difference is when he ran the Mobile One Cup Series race, he didn't start that far at the back. He was actually up inside the top 5 for that race. We'll see what he can do today, though. Corbett going to be trying to get the third win of the season for the Gibbs Waltrip Mayonnaise Racing Team, and second of the season here in Season 9. The green flag is out. We're underway here at Ohio for Division 2. Took us until lap number 5 for our first caution in Division 1. See how long these drivers can keep it green here in Division 2. Joshua Michaels going to beat Jonathan Zorling for second as Eric Burton's out to a very commanding lead. Michaels' teammate now lined up to try and take third place. That's Christopher Pierce in the 07. We got some more teammates back here, the 12 and the 2, Clint Spillman and Dylan Young, trying to work their way up there to the front. Now going to take fourth place. Dylan Young looking for fifth. Dylan Young, of course, going to victory lane at Arizona Speedway 3 weeks ago, trying to pick up his second win of the season. But right now it is all Eric Burton out in front. RGE BMW Racing BMW M3s are trying to run him down. Michaels and Christopher Pierce, and then it's the Young Motorsports Fords. But Spillman and Dylan Young scored in fourth and fifth. Not like to see a caution flag right now is Eric Burton, because he is out in front and dominating right now. But I think that 50 laps of caution-free racing at this track is a little too much to hope for. But we've been surprised before, so I think we have a battle going on for third. Well, I thought we did. It's actually for fourth. Dylan Young bypassing his Young Motorsport teammate Clint Spillman, taking that spot. Now Brandon Krasta will move to the inside and move his way into the top 5. And now Dylan Young begins to close up the gap on Christopher Pierce. Now it's a battle for third. Meanwhile, Eric Burton's still out in front. Got 1.2 seconds over Joshua Michaels. Don't know if that lead is necessarily growing or not. We'll find out here in just a minute. looks like Michael's been able to kind of stay status quo. Let's see this time by if the distance is opened up at all. Oh yeah, he opened it up a tenth that time to Derek Burton. So I can guarantee you he does not want to see a caution. Dylan Young fighting his way forward. He's now up to third, just bypassed Christopher Pierce. Now he'll go to work on trying to run down Joshua Michaels for second. So you can find the other battles here. Brandon Kraft actually going to make a battle for fourth place now. Going to get to the inside of Christopher Pierce. Mercedes did not have very good runs in the first division race. We saw the two Mercedes get together of Riley Anderson and Trevor Gelfie late in that event. Brandon Kraft is going to do well for Mercedes right now in Division 2 inside of the top 5. Leon Scott just made a move underneath of Jonathan Zorling. That was for the 6th position. Ryan Shelton now trying to take away 7th place. There's Clint Spillman, then there's Benjamin Miles. Oh, and the caution's out. Caution flag waving here. Eric Burton did not want to see that yellow, and he did not come to pit road. Just about everybody else has decided to come in this time. I don't know if Eric Burton knew the pits were open or not. Might have been a grave error on Eric Burton's part. I'm pretty sure he didn't know pits were open. Everybody else just dived onto pit road. Eric Burton was already past pit lane, it seemed. And then he looked like he was trying to slow down, but he'd already missed pit road. And yeah, he's the only driver who has not hit the pit lane. Only one. So Burton, I don't know, is he going to come in this time? Yeah, he's going to come in this time. Well, I don't know if Eric Burton's going to get out, though, as the leader again. This may have really messed him up, as he's now coming down pit road one lap later, and this is not good. Oh, contact there between himself and Bella Davis in the 69. And, oh man, he's in a hornet's nest. Theo Stegall coming out of his pit. Kyle Corbett's going to go by him. Eric, you can... Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. He's got Matt McIntyre into his back bumper, pushing him down pit road. I don't like this at all. Is he going to get spun going into his pit? Matt McIntyre's got to get off of him. And, oh, Eric Burton got spun around, but he reversed it into his pit stall. Oh, that was treacherous. That was dangerous looking. And it's a 4-tire stop for the Wrangler Jimmy John Chevrolet. Let's take a look at what put us under the caution, though. And then we'll come back and see if Eric Burton is going to still be the leader. I think he could be. I don't know. We'll see. Caution coming out for the 97 of Jake Haynes. There you see Theo Stegall just gets him in the left rear coming off turn 4. He spins around. He's going to slide right back up the racetrack, and there's Bella Davis. That's where she got her damage from. Mason Powers also involved in the 79. And then there's Dougie Shears. Never slowed down and comes plowing into the Denny Chevrolet, and his car immediately erupts in smoke. So Dougie Shears' day appears to be over early here at Ohio. And that was what brought us under the yellow flag for the first time here today in Division 2 at Ohio Raceway. Oh, wow. Dougie Shears trying to get to pit road, too. Gets into Matt McIntyre. So we're getting ready to go back to green, and Joshua Michaels is scored as the leader after some pretty crazy stuff going on pit stops here. You see a number of drivers up ahead, including Kyle Corbett, Jeffrey Finguy, Nathan Norman, and PJ Williams. Now they are 27th through 30th. They are on the tail end of the lead lap, but they got caught behind the pace car when they made their pit stops. So the top 10 as we go back to green are Joshua Michaels, Brandon Krasta, Deon Scott, then Jonathan Zorling, Christopher Pierce, Ryan Shelton, Benjamin Miles, Eric Powers, Blaine Keys, and Carter Fargo. As you see, lap cars come to the inside there. Theo Stegall and Matt McIntyre, Kyle Matthews, Jacob Lawler, Chris Dollerton. Now the reason that they are a lap down is because when Eric Burton came down pit road, his pit stall was past the start-finish line, and he was ahead of these guys after they made their pit stops when he crossed the line. So the last scoring loop scored them all a lap down. So that is a tough break for them. But it's going to be a tough break, too, for Joshua Michaels because he's boxed in on this restart. Green flag out. Michaels out in front. He's got a lot of traffic to cut his way through. Drivers a lap down, drivers on the lead lap. A lot of drivers would love to have a quick caution right now to get themselves back into the lap. They may get it the way they're racing. They may be it the way they're racing. Whoa, Dion Scott got up into the wall with Brandon Krasta. Both of them saved it. And oh man, look at this back here with Brad Mojo. Christopher Pierce, Ryan Shelton, Krasta spins in front of the field up into Shelton and Christopher Pierce. Eric Powers involved. Blaine Keys is flipping in the back there. More trouble. Carter Fargo, Isaac Canepa, Jerry Guerra spun around. Webster Zygarde. I saw several other drivers involved. Caution flag is out. Where's Michaels? Is he the leader still? There he is. He is still the leader. And who managed to get back on the tail end of the lead lap? Lawler, Finguy, Haynes, Matthews. They're back on the tail end of the lead lap. And I believe P.J. Williams, Kyle Corbett. They're back. Chris Dollerton, Nathan Orman. They're back on the tail lead lap. So too is Theo Stegall and Matt McIntyre. That caution helped a number of drivers get back on the tail end of the lead lap. I think the only one that might not have gotten back on the tail end of the lead lap might have been Noah Davis. Noah Davis, Zach Rostowski, and Brad Mojo. They were the three that did not. Out of everybody else that was a lap down or on the tail end of the lead lap, they will now cycle back around to the tail end of the longest line. Joshua Michaels leads us under the second caution. A big wreck, probably the biggest wreck we've had so far this week at Ohio Raceway, takes place here on just before the halfway point of the Division II race. So this whole thing starts off turn 2. There you see Ryan Shelton gonna get Brandon Krasta in the left rear, sends him down into Brad Mojo, and then Blaine Keys gets involved. And watch Blaine Keys, I think the direction he heads, he may end up of hitting that pit wall. That might have been why he flipped. We'll jump and look at him in a different camera angle in just a minute. Oh, that's exactly what happened to him. Look at that. Right up in front of Isaac Canepa, his teammate. But there you see Eric Powers gets into Christopher Pierce. Oh, man. That was, I think, Webster Zygarde and Zach Rogers that just got hit there with Blaine Keys. Let's jump to the 41. And I think Canepa and Carter Fargo are going to collect traffic as well. Yeah, man, that was head on into that pit wall. Right there. Directional change. Keys' car spins. Head on into the wall. Car goes airborne right up onto the roof of Carter Fargo. There's Canepa getting involved. There's Jessica Villanueva. Webster Zygarde. Rogers runs into the back of him. Nilo Balvin's going to get a piece of that there as well. And then another car that was triggering some damage on other drivers was Carter Fargo, who we saw ended up having the 41 go right up on top of his roof. Watch the hit again. 41 into the pit wall, up into the air, and right over into the windshield of the 19. And then Jerry Guerra is going to hit him right there. It's just going to blockade the inside line. Dylan Young nowhere to go. Whoa, kind of glitched into the 19. That was weird. Ian Dutta going to get held up there. And then there's Isaac Canepa and all these other guys trying to get through. Look at Eric Burton squeezing through. Bob Jones gets a piece of it, though. And Henry Cavanaugh, I think, just barely squeaked by. Big wreck here, I'd say, involving at least 10 drivers, maybe more. And some hard impact there as well. Blaine Keys going for a wild ride. Carter Fargo with the 41 right into his windshield. We are on board the Subway Buick of Carter Fargo. Oh my goodness, look at that. Right up, that was up in his windshield for sure. There's Blaine Keys upside down and on his roof as a result. That was hard impact here at a short track. We're moments away from going back green. Joshua Michaels leads. Eric Burton is currently scored on the tail end of the lead lap in 31st. I don't know why he is stuck behind the pace car, but he is. He was out in front leading this race right from the beginning, and then missing the fact that pit road was open really cost him. Drivers out of the race after that incident we just saw, though, include the following. Ian Dutta is out of the race, as well as Webster Zygarde, Isaac Canepa, Blaine Keys, Carter Fargo, and they joined Dougie Shears in the garage area. The jury is still out about Jessica Villanueva and Zach Rogers being able to continue. They sustained pretty heavy damage, but we'll see. Bella Davis is still a lap down. Zach Rostowski, Brad Mojo. Matter of fact, I'm not certain, but I think the 63 is out of the race. And Zach Rogers just built away, but I think just took her car behind the wall. And also, Eric Powers, I believe, is now out of the race. So Joshua Michaels again will restart boxed in. He was boxed in before between drivers at the tail end of the lead lap and lap down cars. He'll have to deal with it for the second straight restart. As the green flag's about to come out, we are not yet to the halfway point. Lap 24 comes out. We got a total of 27 to go here in Division 2. Bella Davis, Zach Rostowski going to use Eric Burton as a pick. They're now back on the lead lap. Brad Mojo going to try and do the same. Here comes Benjamin Miles as 3 wide up the middle goes Joshua Michaels. Puts Eric Burton a lap down now. That was a power move by the 04 BMW, but now he's got Benjamin Miles to his inside. Benjamin Miles' teammate Kyle Corbett went to victory lane at Martinsville last week. Could be the second straight victory in 2 weeks here in Division 2 for Gibbs Ultra Mayonnaise Racing. Brad Mojo and Bella Davis crowding each other up that corner as Benjamin Miles is out in front. Oh, look out, Liam Ervig. Jonathan Zorling, Joshua Michaels, and Nick Pericles all getting into it back here. This is for second on back through fifth. Zorling going to get the benefit of all that. He's going to move by Bella Davis now into the second position. Benjamin Miles going to work on putting Zach Rostowski back down a lap. And looks like he might be able to do it. And that would put 2 lap machines now between himself and second place Jonathan Zorling. Now Brad Mojo going to go with the inside of Krastowski. That is for position. That I believe is for 30th. Yes, it is. Zorling waiting for the line to open up. Now he'll be able to try and look to the inside of Krastowski as Mojo clears him for the pass. Nick Pericles right there waiting to pounce as well. Running in that third position. Zorling still having a little bit of difficulty getting around Krastowski. Now is going to go by him. And now that leaves the door open for Pericles, and the caution flag is out. Spin on the back straightaway, heading into turn 3. You can see the smoke lingering there. And it looks like it might have involved Kyle Corbett, last week's winner from Martinsville. So Corbett running into trouble here. Just past the halfway point. Let's see what happened to the Napa Toyota. Well, the accident actually started off of turn number 2, but it spread down the back straightaway into turn 3. Watch right there. Ryan Shelton goes wide, clips Jerry Guerra. Guerra gets turned down into Kyle Corbett. Bob Jones also collected in that as well, and I believe Lyndon Wright's going to get a small piece of the 27. No, actually he doesn't. He might get the 56, though. Yep, right there. Man, Christopher Pierce, close call. Look at Kyle Matthews slideways through the corner to avoid. Same for Jacob Lawler. And, ooh, Lawler almost got involved in that too. So that was a 5-car incident there. Bob Jones, Jerry Guerra, Ryan Shelton, Kyle Corbett, and Lyndon Wright. That put us under the caution flag once again. Corbett, at the time, was running in the 18th position, just inside the top 20. Getting ready to go back to green on lap 35 of 50. 16 to go when the green flag comes back out. Benjamin Miles out in front over Jonathan Zorling, Nick Pericles, Lisa Gonzalez, and then Joshua Michaels. Don't think anybody's out of the race after what we just saw. Just double checking. Nope. Still 4 lap cars though. Mojo, Krastowski, Bella Davis, and now Eric Burton. And the top 10s, we go back to green. We gave you the top 5. 6th place is Cole Daly, Liam Erwick 7th. Nilo Bolvin runs in 8th. 9th is Clint Spillman, and Dion Scott completes the top 10. Green flag back out. Let's see if Benjamin Miles can clear the lap traffic. Will they be a problem? Lisa Gonzalez making some moves back there. Thought about going 3 wide with Bella Davis, Nick Pericles. Now kind of thought better of it. Will ride behind the 87. Well, as soon as I say that, here she comes back up the middle again. This is pretty treacherous back here for sure. Cole Daly going to go all the way down to the inside. 4 wide for Daly. Oh, he's trying to make positions work. Oh, Pericles into the wall with Lisa Gonzalez. top 5 drivers just wrecked each other. Pericles and Gonzalez up into the safer barrier out of 3. Caution. Wow. That was a hard 4-wide battle going on for what I think was, at the time, the 3rd position. And Pericles and Gonzalez just got together. And oh man. Miles leads this race still under yellow. Let's take a look and see what happened. We saw it in live, but let's see it in slow motion and get a feel for what exactly took place right there. Just watch this here. Look at Cole Daly on the inside there. 4 wide into this corner. Now does he force the 95 up into the 08? Doesn't look like it. Lisa Gonzalez just, I think she got tight in the corner or something, and Pericles was there. She ran up the track into him. And man, up into the wall, end over end, flipping and barrel rolling, flips over again. And how that was just a 2-car incident, I don't know. That was right up in the top 5. I mean, kudos to Cole Daly. A bold move there to take the 3rd position away, but a little mistake there by Lisa Gonzalez, and didn't give Pericles enough room. He just hooked her in the right rear, and both of them up into the fence. 2 drivers that were undoubtedly strong cars that could have maybe won this thing. They were in the top 5, wrecked here with less than 15 to go. Well, I don't think Lisa Gonzalez nor Nick Pericles are going to be very happy. They had shots of probably maybe winning this race, or at least leaving with a decent finish. I'll tell you 2 drivers, though, that are happy. One of them is Brad Mojo. He was ahead of Benjamin Miles when that caution came out. He cycles back around to the tail end of the lead lap. And Benjamin Miles has also got to be very happy because he has 2 lap machines between himself and Jonathan Zorling in a single file restart. No lap traffic to deal with on the inside line anymore. Miles has a clear racetrack. He's ready to bring him back down here. Green flag to come out with 9 laps remaining in the Division 2 race. Green flag is waving and Miles gets away, opens about 2 car lengths between himself and Krostowski. Daly, we saw him make a bold move there on that last run. Can he make more bold moves and work his way up here past the lap traffic up to the leader Benjamin Miles? He's still got to get by Jonathan Zorling for 2nd place though. Zorling kind of boxed in right now. Now he's going to go 3 wide underneath Bella Davis and Zach Krostowski. Zorling making bold moves there as wow. Bella Davis runs Zach Krostowski up the track there. And now Cole Daly gets into the mix, along with Nilo Baldwin in the 18. 2 of the Gibbs Waltrip Mayonnaise cars having great runs right now, 1st and 4th, and the yellow's out again. And that was not what Benjamin Miles wanted to see. Because now Jonathan Zorling is clear of the lap traffic, and he would be on Benjamin Miles' back bumper when we go back to green, if we go back to green. And drivers on the tail end of the lead lap. I don't know what's going on here. Just waiting for the pace car. There was a driver on pit road. Oh, it's Bob Jones, 27 car. He's been in a lot of different wrecks today. And Benjamin Miles, he may have to gear himself up for one more restart, and this time Jonathan Zorling will be right there with him. Let's take a look and see what happened to Bob Jones, though, for what could potentially be the final caution of this Division 2 race at Ohio. Well, the 27 was in the 27th position at the time. Contact between Lyndon Wright and Jerry Guerra sends Guerra down into Bob Jones. And then Guerra's car is going to spin around. Bob Jones tries coming back up the track, and make that Chris Dollerton is right there. And look at the hit that Bob Jones takes. Oh, man, that car got stuck in the safer barrier. And then Dollerton going to get the wall as well. And I'm almost afraid to find out, did Guerra hit the pit wall? Looks like he could have. Yes, he did. I think he backed it into the pit wall. Oh, wow, he hit it right there, right where the fuel cell is on the left rear. That car might, I'm not sure that smoke right there might not be actually fire, because it hit the fuel cell with the safer barrier there, that pit wall. Boy. Some hard impact there for Guerra. Hard impact for Bob Jones, and Chris Dollerton got collected in it as well. Well, Benjamin Miles going to try and make it back-to-back short track wins here in Division 2 of the Snickers Cup Series. His teammate Kyle Corbett went to victory lane last week at Martinsville. Miles going to try and do it here at Ohio. I'm pretty certain the lights will go out next time by, which means that we will have a one-lap shootout, just like we had in the Division 1 race. Benjamin Miles be able to hang on. If Benjamin Miles goes victory lane, Toyota will have won 2 straight races here today as well. Noah Hart picking up the first one in Division 1. Are the lights out atop the pace car? Are we gonna go green for one lap? Yes, we are. Benjamin Miles Toyota looking for his first Snickers Cup Series win. He'll be moving to Hendrick Motorsports full-time in the 84 next season. Jonathan Zorling looking for his second win of the season. Then it's lap traffic back to 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Cole Dally, Nilo Balvin, and Joshua Michaels. Buckle up tight, folks. Here we go. Another one-lap shootout at Ohio. Benjamin Miles and Jonathan Zorling will be the 2 rookies to settle it out. Green and white flag are displayed. Here we go. 4 more corners. Miles got a good jump. Zorling may not have closed the gap up enough. 2 car lengths in hand. Benjamin Miles is going to pick up the second straight short track win in Division 2 for Gibbs Waltrip Man. He's racing his first Snickers Cup Series career win. Comes to the short track of Ohio Raceway. What a great job there by that Domino's Pizza Toyota Camry team. And a team that has been struggling this season. Gibbs Waltrip Mayonnaise Racing now has their 3rd driver go to victory lane in their 3rd win of the season. Walsh went to victory lane much earlier on this season. Corbett wins last week at Martinsville, and Miles wins this week at Ohio Raceway. Zorling was there, but he just didn't time the restart correctly. He'll still get a solid second. Cole Dally going to get 3rd. 4th place for Miles' teammate, Nilo Balvin. He'll get the top 5 finish that he was looking for. Same for Joshua Michaels, who led a good portion of this race. He'll settle out in 5th. Matt McIntyre is 6th. Dylan Young finished 7th. 8th place, Liam Ervig. 9th was Mason Powers, and finishing out the top 10 was Theo Segal in the 42. So congratulations to Benjamin Miles on his first career Snickers Cup Series victory coming here today at Ohio Raceway. Toyota has won the last 2 races now. Division 1, Division 2 going to Toyota Camrys in Noah Hart and Benjamin Miles. There actually are no Toyotas, with the exception of Tim Walsh, in the chase for the championship. And Division 3 is coming up next. Who's going to make their way into the next round? Who's going to fall out and be eliminated? We're about to find out. Don't go away. Division 3, Chase Division, coming up next here from Ohio. Alright, so here we go, getting ready to find out what 4 drivers will not be continuing on to the next round of the chase for the championship here in Season 9 of the Snickers Cup Series. 2 drivers we know for certain will not be eliminated are our last 2 winners. Michael Norman, our winner from Daytona, Brandon Gonzalez, our winner from last week at Martinsville. The wins they got locked them into the next round of the chase, regardless of what happens here today. Other drivers that are in pretty good shape for being able to make it to the next round include Chris Kyle and William Duncan, and then possibilities would be Tim Walsh, Momo Akari, and Charles Sanford. Here's the drivers, though, that are in jeopardy of maybe falling out of the top 12 here today and maybe moving into the top 12 here today. Robert Piet comes in 8th in the standings. He comes in a total of 14 points ahead of, or I'm sorry, wait a minute. No, 24 points ahead of 12th. Danny Wells is 9th in points. He is a total of 22 points ahead of 12th place. A total of 20 points ahead of 12th place. That is Sean Henley. He is 10th in the points. 11th in the standings is Joshua Collard. He is only 16 points ahead of 12th in the standings. And then John Cedino comes in 12th in points. Ahead of 13th place, he is only 9 points ahead of Ty Dent, Tristan Wilhoit, James Shelley, and Chris Louviere. Those four need excellent runs today or a win to move themselves out of 13th through 16th and into the top 12 in points to transfer into the next round. Let's show you your starting lineup for today's race as Joshua Mudd will start on the pole position in the Mudmobile. There you see chasers right up here at the front. I think it's 6 chasers starting in the top 10. Joshua Collard starting just outside the top 10 in what I believe is the 12th position. There's Chris Kyle, who we know will probably transfer into the next round. Chris Louviere, one of those drivers on the bubble. Will Hoyt, another of them that's on the bubble. Ty Dent as well. They did not get good qualifying results, did those rookies. James Shelley, another of those bubble drivers, way at the back here. And there's Momo Akari as well in the 14, starting near the rear. That is not necessarily a good thing. Let's get these cars rolling off, though. Norman and Gonzalez, we know for certain they're going to make their way into the next round. Chris Kyle, William Duncan could be in good shape, along with Tim Walsh. We'll have to see what happens at the end results of today's race at Ohio. Also, will we have our third straight chaser go to victory lane? First 2 chase races, the chasers won them. Norman and Gonzalez. Here we go. Green flag is out here in the chase race, number 3 of the Snickers Cup Series. Green white already back there. John Cittadino, Sean Henley. And oh, John Cittadino gets spun! Right back up into traffic. Chris Kyle's involved. Danny Wells gets a piece of it. More drivers. Nathan Hudson, Alex Pedro, Stephen Pollard III, Ty Dent. They all pile into it as well. That didn't take long at all. Cittadino's got a lot of damage on his 72 as he got spun on the back straightaway. I think it might have been off the nose of Jay Barker. Not certain. But Chaser Chris Kyle was in it. Chaser Danny Wells was in it. And I believe that Ty Dent, one of the drivers that comes in the bubble spot, was collected in that as well. Joshua Mudd leads us under the first caution. Let's take a look right away and see what happened. And it was Dorian Facepuncher that turns him. There you go. I saw them go 3 wide early on. Cittadino was in that 3 wide situation that I saw. And then there you go. He's going to spin right back up in front of traffic. And Chris Kyle is going to be the one that he hits right there. Kyle up into Alex Pedro. I think there was another car up on the extreme high line that gets collected there. That was Stephen Pollard III in the 06. Danny Wells going to get some damage. He runs into Cittadino. And then Nathan Hudson, he hits Pollard. Will Hoyt, nice avoidance. Dunn LaPrade gets into it. And right there, Ty Dent just plows into the back of Stephen Pollard III. Charles Belding into the back of Ty Dent. Connor Breton also gets involved as he gets into Alex Pedro. And James Shelley made some contact with the right front into Breton's Planters Peters Toyota. So that is what put us under the caution. 2 chasers, actually make that 4 chasers involved in this one. Shelley, Dent, Cittadino, and Kyle. Let's see if any of them are going to be able to continue after this. So Joshua Mudd still continues to lead here. Lights are out atop. The pace car will go back green. Drivers that were involved in that out of the race are the following: Don LaPrade, Nathan Hudson, Stephen Pollard III. I believe Alex Pedro is out. Where's Cittadino? Is he out of the race? Cittadino's out. And Chris Kyle. Oh no, Cittadino's a lap down. There he is. Chris Kyle's out of the race though. Alex Pedro, Stephen Pollard III, Nathan Hudson, and Don LaPrade. Those are the drivers out of the race. Going back green, it's Mudd. And then the chasers, Norman, Sanford, Gonzalez, and Duncan. Don Cittadino did not get himself back on the tail end of the lead lap. And now he's going to lose more track position away from the leader. Michael Norman moves by him. Charles Sanford trying to do the same now. In the 3rd position is Joshua Mudd out in front, leading a field of chasers from 2nd on back through 5th. Norman already locked into the next round, but a 2nd win would certainly help him. Charles Sanford right there as well, trying to pick up his 3rd win of the season. Sanford actually was a driver that could fall out of the top 12 mathematically But right now, with where he's running, he stands to transfer his way into the next round. And he's actually all over the back bumper of Michael Norman for the second position. Let's watch this. William Duncan may end up finding his way up here to make it a three-man fight, three-chaser fight for second place. And Sanford's got to the inside. Battle for second behind Joshua Mudd's Chevrolet. Jay Barker has now moved himself up into the top 5. Robert Piet now up to 6th. Henley now up to 8th as Gonzalez begins to free fall. Wow, Norman took that turn wide, got really loose. Oh, whoa, look out, Dalen Casella is up into the wall. And I think the caution might be out. Caution flag is indeed out, and apparently it was the 101 that brought out this yellow flag. Dylan Casella puts us under the caution here for the second time today. Let's take a look and see what happened to him. This was coming out of, I believe this is turn number 4. And boy, Casella just didn't give Charles Belding any room. Belding was there, clearly, and man, Connor Breeden's second time that he's involved in a wreck, and oh, Ty Dent gets clipped, and oh, pounds that inside wall pretty hard. Levi McIntyre tried to slow up, couldn't slow up in time. He made some contact as well. And I don't know how bad the damage is now on the left side of the God's Not Dead World of Outlaws Audi, but Ty Dent's is not good for him. He started at the back, and he's been involved in 2 wrecks already. James Shelley managed to get by, and there's Breeden, second time today he's been involved in a wreck in that Toyota Camry. And boy, these were lucky drivers right here. Tristan Wilhoit and Momo Akari, they worked their way by that incident, and they're still, at least for now, they got their cars that are nice and clean. And wait a minute. Do we have Brandon Gonzalez have trouble? There was just some skid marks. Did he get together with somebody? Oh yeah, he spun out. What happened here? Okay, this was after the caution waved, I think, and Gonzalez, boy, that was an aggressive move, trying to go 3 wide under Richard Johnson and Sean Henley, and Joseph Srigley was already there. And Gonzalez, I mean, he's already locked into the next round of the chase, so I guess he had nothing to lose, and he decided to go for it there, and it did not work out for that 23 car. So we're on lap 15 of 50. Lights are still on atop the pace car, which means we're still going to have to go around at least one more time before we're going to get the signal of 1 to go. Joshua Mudd continues to lead the way. Then you got Chaser Charles Sanford, Chaser Michael Norman, and Chaser William Duncan in 2nd through 4th. Jay Barker's going to line up in 5th. Then you got more chasers in Robert Piet and John Zinedino lined up in 6th and 7th. And the rest of the top 10, you get Dorian Face Puncher, Richard Johnson, and then another chaser in Sean Henley. So you got 6. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, no, I apologize. John Zinedino's a lap down. 10th is actually Joseph Srigley. So you've got, what, 5 chasers then in the top 10, I think? Yeah, 5 chasers in the top 10. Zinedino really needs to get a good restart here, get by Joshua Mudd, because he's going to remain a lap down if he doesn't. And he's not going to pick up very many positions. We've only got 1 driver out of the race after that latest incident, and that is the car of Dylan Casella. Charles Belding is 2 laps down. Zinedino, 1 lap down, has only moved his way up to 35th on the running order with drivers that have retired. Green flag out, and Zinedino will not get back on the lead lap this time. Joshua Mudd out in front, has dominated this race so far, actually led every single lap as well. He's got a lap car, actually make that 2 lap cars now as Belding's trying to clear Sanford. Now we got a battle on for 2nd place. Michael Norman going to try and get to the inside of Charles Sanford. That's for the 2nd position and for the highest running chaser spot in this field. 4 chasers pumped up right there. Norman, Sanford, and then right behind them, Robert Piet and William Duncan. That's actually a battle that's going on for the 4th position. Robert Piet, despite 2 wins this season, near the end of the regular season, really not a lot of noise made out of that team. Now that the chase has begun, he's definitely starting to make some moves. Norman now works his way past the lap car of Charles Belding. Now we'll try and catch up to the lap car of John Zinedino. And the next car for him to try and run down would be the leader, Joshua Mudd. While Norman tries getting by the lap machine of John Cittadino. Oh, actually, never mind. Doesn't even have to worry about it. Caution flag is out once again. So under more pace laps, Joshua Mudd will be leading, and Joseph Swigley, who restarted in the 10th position on that last restart, is involved, and chaser Joshua Collard as well. Collard's Irish Spring Chevrolet sits on the pit lane. Apparently something between him and Joseph Swigley, both of whom were having decent runs here today at Ohio. Just nearing the midway point, we've got another chaser in trouble here today. Like I said, this is a track that really shakes things up, and we're having 4 eliminations at the end of this race. 4 drivers will not be battling for the championship after the checkered flag waves today. Right now, we've got a lot of different drivers that have had great seasons that might be in jeopardy of that happening to them, including John Cittadino, Joshua Collard, and several others. Let's take a look at a replay of what just happened. Now this incident off turn number 2, Nick Smith trying to get to the inside of Joseph Swigley. And there you go. Just hooks him around in the left rear. We've seen this all day long where the car slides down. It's going to come right back up in turn 3. And unfortunately the one that's going to get targeted this time is going to be that 39 of Joshua Collard. Oh man. Tough hit right there. Chris Louvier in the 98 also getting a slight piece of it. His car spun around and I believe backed into the outside retaining wall. Man, TJ Dent, close call. Ryan Rezzo and Henry Nova split the gap. James Qualls almost got involved. So did Danny Wells. That was a close call for them. There goes chaser Tim Walsh, chaser Tristan Wilhoit, Brandon Gonzalez. Everybody just slicing and dicing their way through. We are so lucky we got away with just 3 drivers basically getting involved in that one. But 2 of them were chasers. Chris Louvier now has damage to the rear of his Dogecoin Dodge. And Joshua Collard, I believe they've actually pushed his car behind the wall. Same for the smoking Joseph Swigley. Getting ready to go green one more time. And one more time, John Cittadino will try and get by Joshua Mudd, get back on the tail end of the lead lap. And so far, Joshua Mudd has definitely been able to time the restarts perfectly. He's left everyone, lap cars and lead lap cars, in the dust as soon as that green flag drops. Top 10, we go back to green. It's Mudd, Norman, Sanford, Piet, and Face Puncher. Then it's Richard Johnson, William Duncan, Jay Barker, Jessica Shelton's now up to 9th, and Chris Maley now in 10th. So a couple of new drivers in the top 10 as we're back under green. That time Cittadino might be able to battle back. Nope, Joshua Mudd's going to keep the top position and keep the lap car behind him, I think. Yep, he cleared him. Norman did not get around Charles Belding very well. As a matter of fact, now Robert Piet is all underneath him looking for that second position. Charles Sanford now going to slide into line to try and move his way by as well. Piet can make the pass. Now, Joshua Mudd, I got to wonder, do you like it better when it's green or do you like it better when the caution flag is out? Because it doesn't seem like either one is affecting him at all. He has been able to stay out in front no matter what this track and this race has thrown at him, and now it's throwing another caution flag his way. So more pacing laps for the 888. And this time looks like it was Zach Buchanan that might have been involved in this, our latest caution flag. Well, if he wasn't involved then, he certainly is now. He just ran to the back of Stephanie Gardner. James Shelley and TJ Dent also involved in that bit of a stack-up right there. So let's take a look and see what happened to the Extends Chevrolet out of Air Jordan Motorsports to put us under the caution just past the halfway point here in Division 3. No doubt about it, turn 2 has definitely been the trouble spot today. This time, Henry Nova is going to turn rookie TJ Dent in the 711 Audi. Shades of our last caution when Swigley got turned, and then right up in front of traffic. And Zach Buchanan tries to hit the brakes, can't do it. And then look at everybody else here. I think Brandon Gonzalez might get a piece right there. Levi McIntyre, I think, got a little slight piece of it as well. And then Stephanie Gardner did as well. Now for Brandon, at least the good news for him is with him winning Martinsville last week, he's automatically in the next round of the chase. So he can afford a race like this. But a couple of other drivers that are there at the back, no, they really can't, like James Shelley and a couple of others. So that's what put us under the caution flag once again. Let's go back to green. Well, I know I sound like a broken record, but hey, this is short track racing. And And we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here once again. Joshua Mudd still out in front. He's got a lot of different second place drivers behind him, but nobody seems to be able to challenge him. Used to be Charles Sanford, and then it was Michael Norman, and now it's Robert Piet. So we'll see if Robert will be able to do anything with the Muddmobile here on this restart. We'll see if John Cittadino can do anything, because time is running out soon for that 72 car as well. Because when we reach 10 to go, it's going to be a single file restart. He won't have the benefit of starting alongside the leader to try and battle his way back on the lead lap. So time's running short for him as well. As the green flag's out, and this time Cittadino timed the start much better. He's still alongside. Robert Piet running wide in that corner, but he's going to clear Charles Belding. One car around, that's Michael Norman. Norman's around. Here's a drag race to the line between Cittadino and Mudd. Will Cittadino get back on the lead lap? Did he? Did he get it? Where'd they score him? He did! He just barely got back on the lead lap, did Cittadino. Wow, that was a photo finish right there between Mudd and Cittadino. Cittadino is getting back on the lead lap, but one of the key players in this race, Michael Norman, who was running in the 4th position at the time, our winner from 2 weeks ago at Daytona, was the one that spun out. Oh, it looks like a lot of other drivers were collected in this one. Tim Walsh, another chaser involved. Chris Maley. Chris Louvier is now hitting the pit lane. That was a big wreck, and it started right up near the front of the field, so there's no surprise that a number of drivers were collected, and 3 of them were chase drivers. There's Maley. Louvier on pit road, Michael Norman on pit road. Man, what a strong car Norman had today. Top 5 all day long. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, his day appears to be over. Like Brandon Gonzalez, because of his win at Daytona, he's locked into the next round, so he doesn't really have to worry. But man, that's such a tough break for that team. Had such a strong car. So the yellow flag is out once again. Cittadino races his way back on the tail end of the lead lap, but a couple of chasers collected in this one. Tim Walsh, Michael Norman, and Chris Louvier. This was right up inside of the top 5. Looks like this battle for 4th place is going to go horribly wrong between Richard Johnson and Michael Norman. Again, off turn number 2, and this time Norman's going to get hooked around. That must be such a helpless feeling for him, running top 5 all day long. He's going to come right back up in front of traffic, and the car he's going to get, I think, is Chris Maley right there. Nick Smith's going to get involved as well. There's David Rivera with absolutely nowhere to go. Look at Ryan Rezzo split the gap. That was a close call. Then here come more chasers. Tim Walsh stuck on the high side. Can't go anywhere. Runs straight into Norman. Norman then down and into Louvier. And, ooh, wow, TJ Dent almost got into that. It's a wonder we didn't have more drivers involved. That was only about maybe 5 or 6 drivers in that one. And that was a wreck that took place right up in the top 5. What a tough break there. 3 chasers right there in that shot. Louvier, Tim Walsh, and Michael Norman. So that brings us under another caution flag. Let's go back for a green flag and see if we may finish this race out under the green. Well, we've had quite an eventful day here as far as the chase is concerned. And this is the final round of the final race of the first round, I should say, of this season Snickers Cup Series Championship. 4 drivers will not be moving on to the next round, and we could have some potentials here. Joshua Collard could be in danger, so could Tim Walsh. Both of them are out of the race at this point. Other drivers that have gone behind the wall and are out of the race include, I believe, Chris Maley's taking his car behind the wall, Michael Norman, Tim Walsh, Joseph Srigley, as well as Collard, Dylan Casella, another chaser in Chris Kyle, Alex Pedro, Stephen Pollard III, Nathan Hudson, and Brad. You see Charles Belding trying to get one of his 2 laps back from the leader Joshua Mudd, who has been unshaken this entire race. Gave up the lead lap position to John Cittadino in a photo finish, but none of the lead lap drivers ever have even gotten to him. Right now it's looking like, and I'm saying this with a little asterisk by it, it's looking like Robert Piet, Charles Sanford, William Duncan, they at least will move on to the next round. We already know that Brandon Gonzalez and Michael Norman are moving on to the next round. The rest of those other guys, I don't know. As Belding now will go one lap down as he's just bypassed Joshua Mudd for a spot back on, or a lap back. And now Joshua Mudd says, nope, going to go right back to your inside and put you 2 laps down again. We got a new second place driver, Richard Johnson, who triggered that last caution. He's now up in the second position with Charles Sanford now hounding him for that spot, but the caution flag's out again. Caution's out again. Drag race to the line for second place. Richard Johnson is going to just barely get it as there's a lot of black smoke up ahead of the leaders. And that's John Cittadino, who just raced his way back onto the lead lap, has now blown up. Oh, another chaser. James Shelley on pit road. Stephanie Gardner damaged. TJ Dent's got damage. Where did the... I was going to show the 014 car, because he's on pit road. And remember, he was one of those bubble drivers. There he is. Oh my goodness, this is not good for him. He was just trying to survive this race, and he was doing a pretty good job of it too. Connor Breton's now on the pit lane. Has he got damage? Yeah, he's got hood damage. Stephanie Gardner now hits the pit lane as well. So John Cittadino, just a few laps after racing his way back onto the lead lap, his day looks like it may be over. Same for James Shelley. Our chasers are falling by the wayside as this race draws to a close. Chase spots are on the line into moving into the next round, and several drivers could be in big, big trouble. Well, I'm not really sure how happy James Shelley is going to be with one TJ Dent. Think about it, TJ Dent was on the receiving end of one of these turns out of turn 2 a couple of cautions ago. Right there's the contact. Shelley sent down to the inside retaining wall, right back up in front of John Cittadino. TJ got clipped there, and so he spins out, and Stephanie Gardner, absolutely nowhere for her to go either. Wow, Cittadino's car just got sandwiched between the Kodak Chevrolet and the outside wall, and Shelley immediately erupted in smoke as soon as that car hit the wall. Boy, that is a tough break there. Cittadino was up in, I think, 28th. Shelley was back in 26th. Both were just trying to ride it out, finish this race, and neither one of them are going to now. So that would put us under the caution. I don't know if we're getting back green or not. Not sure it's going to really matter, because Joshua Mudd has kept his car out in front all day long. He has led every single lap so far. Can he lead the last few? We're going to find out now. You know, it's really strange. We had a potential opportunity for a driver to try and win back-to-back Snickers Cup Series championships and 3 Snickers Cup Series championships in his career. And John Cittadino, out of the race, could be in jeopardy of not even making it past the first round of the Season 9 Snickers Cup Series chase. It's going to be close for sure. We're going back to green. It'll be 3 laps remaining. Joshua Mudd has led every single lap today. He's going to try and lead the last 3. Can we finish this race under green? There's a lap machine of Charles Belding between himself and second place Richard Johnson. Perfect scenario for a guy who has timed every restart perfectly. Green flag is back out here at Ohio. My dog just came over. Joshua Mudd has been able to pull away by a bit, and Richard Johnson has not been able to pass Charles Belding, let alone be able to try and run down Joshua Mudd. 2 to go. Now he's cleared him. Charles Sanford, Dorian Facepuncher now up to 4th. Great run for the 55. They're all trying to get through that lap traffic and try and run down Joshua Mudd, but Mudd has only 1 more lap to go. That time by about 7/10 off the back bumper of Joshua Mudd's Richard Johnson. We've not even seen anybody else make moves when they're only a car length behind. Joshua Mudd's going to leave all 50 laps today. Joshua Mudd's going to go to victory lane, his first Snickers Cup Series win here at Ohio Raceway. What a great job by that team. Dominant car of the day. It'd have been a shame if he didn't win. Charles Sanford's going to finish in 3rd. He's locked into the next round of the chase. Robert Piet finishes in, finishes in 5th. He's locked into the next round. William Duncan, he was pretty much a sure thing, but he'll still get a 7th place today. He's in the next round. There's TJ Dent, scored 22nd. Henley finished, I think, in 10th place, I think it said. Yep, Henley finished 10th. He's into the next round. Look further down. Danny Wells, he battled back for 15th. I think Danny's going to make it into the next round. Brandon Gonzalez, we know, was already locked in, even though he finished 19th today. Momo Akari, that's going to be a questionable one. 20th place today. I don't know if she's going to be in the next round or not. Trista Wilhoit, 21st. And Ty Den, 22nd. Those were two of the bubble drivers. I don't know if that's going to be enough to get them in, but with the hard luck we saw Citadino and Collard and Walsh and several others have, they may be in the next round. Don't know for certain. Louvier finished the first car lap down in 27th. Citadino out of the race in 30th. James Shelley also out of the race in 31st. Norman and Walsh both out of the race in 33rd and 34th. Joshua Collard in 36th and Chris Kyle in 38th. So it's all going to come down to points and who had enough points to be able to make their way into the next round. Michael Norman, Brandon Gonzalez, because of their wins at Daytona and Martinsville in the last 2 weeks, they're locked into the next round. But who will be the other 10 drivers that are going to join them in the top 12? We're about to find out. Thank you all so much for watching. Congratulations to our winners here today at Ohio. Noah Hart takes win in Division 1. Benjamin Miles picks up his first career win in Division 2. And Joshua Mudd dominates the race, leads all 50 laps, and picks up his first Snickers Cup Series win of his career here in Division 3. Here come your official overall point standings, as well as your chase points heading into next week. If you are in the top 12 in the chase points that are going to be shown here at the end of this video, you are moving on to the next round. If you finished in 13th through 16th in the points, you are eliminated, unfortunately, from the chase for the championship. But had a great season anyway for you four, and of course you'll try and battle out for as many wins as possible for the remainder of the season. So congratulations to those that made it into the top 12. We are now moving on to next week, which, if I'm not mistaken, we are heading to Kansas. I think we're going to Kansas. I might be wrong, but I think we're going to Kansas Speedway for our first race of the second round of the Chase for the Championship. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys next time as you've been watching production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at Best. The chase for the Snickers Cup Series Championship continues on.